do you do when the people you trusted bury your future? For 7 years, he sacrificed, ate less, worked double shifts, slept on cold floors, all to build a home back in the village. But when he returned, there was no house, no land, no explanation. Michael stood at the village bus park with one worn-out bag and a heavy heart. His mother, dressed in a faded wrapper, pressed a small envelope into his palm. "It's not much," she whispered. "Just use it to eat when you reach Lagos." He nodded, fighting tears. He wasn't just leaving home. He was leaving behind poverty, pain, and everything familiar. He was chasing something bigger. A future. A future where his children would never sleep hungry. A future with a house he could call his own. As the bus coughed to life, he looked out the window. His mother waved, smiling with pride and fear. He couldn't wave back. His fingers clenched into fists. He swore in his heart, "No matter how hard it gets, I will make it. For her. For us." Behind him, the red dust of the village rose. Ahead, the unknown city waited. And Michael's journey to build his dream had just begun. Lagos wasn't what Michael expected. The noise hit him like thunder. The smell of exhaust mixed with hot puff-puff. But he didn't come to complain. He came to survive. He stayed with a distant cousin, Tony, in a small room that smelled of kerosene and sweat. They shared the floor with 2 others, legs overlapping like wires. Michael didn't mind. He reminded himself it's only for a while. Tony took him to a construction site. "They are looking for strong hands," he said. The pay was poor. The sun was wicked, but Michael took the job. Every night, with his back aching, he stared at the ceiling and whispered, "Just give me one chance, Lord. Just one." A month later, his passport came through with help from a friend. He applied for a factory job in Dubai. It wasn't easy, but finally, a visa landed. As he boarded that plane, Michael told himself, "This is it. My story is about to change." He didn't know his real test hadn't even started. Dubai was heat and hustle. The factory smelled of burnt oil and metal. 12-hour shifts, 1-hour break, no room for weakness. Michael slept in a room with 6 men. He saved every coin. While others ordered shawarma, he cooked noodles with hot water and prayers. Every month, he called his mother, "Mama, I just sent 250,000 naira. Use it to start the land work." She would laugh with joy. "God bless you, my son. I'll manage it well." He believed her. He trusted her. Family doesn't lie, right? Back home, his younger brother David was added to the building plan. He will oversee the workers. Mama said, "You know I'm old." Michael nodded. He was so tired to think twice. Work, sleep, send money. This repeated. But somewhere inside, a whisper kept echoing. "Hope they are doing the right thing." He shook it off. This is family. They will never disappoint me. And with each transfer, his dream house rose in his imagination. Brick, by brick. Michael drew his dream house on brown paper. 3 bedrooms, a kitchen, a veranda where his mother could sit. He carried that paper in his wallet like a baby picture. On breaks, he'd unfold it and smile. Soon, he'd whisper. Photos started coming in. Blurry images of sand, cement, and people in wheelbarrow. His mother's voice was filled with joy. The foundation is almost done, David added. You will like the roofing design. Bro, we are moving. Michael's heart swelled with pride. The hard work was paying off. Every sweaty shift meant something. One evening, a co-worker from Edo said, "My guy, better go home once in a while and check. Some people are real actors." Michael laughed it off. Not my family. Never. But deep down, a tiny crack formed in his trust. Still, he sent another 250,000 naira the next morning, convinced that soon he'd walk into that house with a proud smile. The house was becoming real, or so he thought. 3 years in, Michael had nothing of his own. No TV, no fridge, not even new shoes. But he had one thing: hope. He sent money monthly, sometimes 200,000, sometimes 500,000. Even when work delayed salary, he borrowed just to send something home. His roommate in Dubai shook his head. "Guy, you are killing yourself. At least, flex small now. You are a man, not machine." Michael smiled weakly. "I'm building a future. They are already roofing." But he hadn't seen any roofing. Just voice notes. Just promises. On Michael's birthday, nobody called. Not his mother. Not David. Not even a message. That night, Michael cried quietly on his bunk bed. Still, he didn't stop. One day, I'll open my own door. One day, Mama will live like a queen back home. However, the building was stuck, but nobody told him the truth. Because some people are better at spending than building. After 5 years, Michael called home. "I'm thinking of coming this Christmas. I want to see the house." There was silence. Then, Mama's voice stammered. "Ah, my son, the ceiling isn't complete yet. Come next year. By then, the tiles will shine like marble." David added, "We want you to enter that house like a king. No dust, no stress." Michael smiled. He believed them again. He cancelled the trip, stayed back, took more shifts, even worked on weekends. The goal was clear: finish the house. The house that he'd never seen, not even in proper photos, but they said it was real, and he had no reason to doubt. Until one day, a stranger from his village sent him a DM. "I passed your land yesterday. I didn't see any house. Hope you know what's going on." His heart skipped. He typed back, "You must be mistaken. It's a big bungalow. Ask around." But something inside him broke that night. Not the house. His peace. Michael didn't sleep that night. He kept staring at the stranger's message. Could they be lying? He called David. "Send me a video of the house. Full video. I want to see it properly." David replied, "Network is bad. I will try tomorrow." Tomorrow came, then another. No video. Just excuses. When Michael insisted, Mama called, sounding angry. "Why are you doubting us? After all we've done, are we thieves?" That hurt more than he expected. He sat alone on the rooftop of his building in Dubai. Cold wind brushing his face. Questions piling in his chest. He checked all the past pictures again. Blurry. No progress. Just the same pile of sand. He whispered, "Have they been lying to me all this time?" But instead of confronting them, he sent one last transfer. 400,000 naira. It was not just money. It was the last piece of trust he had left. The next morning, Michael packed his bag. He told no one. He booked a ticket for home. 7 years gone. No holidays. No visits. Just sweat, hope, and silence. This time, he wouldn't tell them he was coming. He wanted to see the house for himself. No cleanup. No makeup. Just the truth. As the plane flew over Lagos, his palms were sweating. He wasn't nervous about the airport or the roads. He was scared of the truth waiting at that empty plot of land. He hadn't told his roommates. He hadn't even told work. He needed to know. Was I building a house or just sending money into a hole? The thought made his chest tighten, but it was time. The truth can't hide forever. The air smelled like burnt corn and dust. Lagos was still the same. Loud, fast, unforgiving. Michael took a small bus to the village. No one knew he was coming. As the bus passed familiar paths, his heart pounded louder with every bend. He clutched his bag, which held nothing but clothes, his building sketch, and a tired soul. Finally, he arrived. No one was at the family house. He walked straight to the land. When he reached it, he froze. His mouth went dry. His feet refused to move. There was no house. No foundation. No blocks. Just grass, thorns, and goats. He dropped his bag. For 7 years. For nothing. He fell to his knees, fist in the dirt. Tears came, slow but hot. Where is my house? That evening, Michael sat alone beside the empty land. His hands were dusty. His shirt soaked with sweat and tears. Then he heard footsteps. It was David. And behind him, Mama. They weren't smiling. David spoke first. Bro, it's not what you think. Michael didn't answer. Mama sat beside him. The morning, we tried. Michael, things were hard. Your uncle fell sick. David had to go back to school. Michael stood up. So there was never a house. His voice shook. 7 years, you couldn't even build one room. Mama wept. We didn't mean harm. David looked away. Michael nodded slowly. The kind of nod that holds pain, not agreement. He picked up his bag, walked away without a word. The truth didn't need explanation. It had already spoken. Michael didn't sleep that night. He sat in a cheap guest house at the edge of the village, staring at the ceiling, listening to the sound of his own heartbreak. His hands shook, not from cold, but from betrayal. 7 years of sweat, 7 years of skipping meals, 7 years of trusting people who saw him as a bank, not a brother. He scrolled through his phone, looking at old chats, voice notes filled with fake progress, blurry pictures, excuses, sweet words hiding sore truths. God, he whispered, was I blind? Or just too hopeful? The next morning, he walked to the town center. He bought a bottle of water and sat on a bench. The young man recognized him. You are Michael, right? The one that was sending money from Dubai. He nodded. The boy lowered his voice. We all knew nothing was happening on that land. Your brother bought a car. Your mother gave money to your uncle's wife to start a business. Michael didn't react. He'd lost a house, but what hurt most was the death of truth. Determined to know how deep the betrayal went, Michael asked around for local bricklayers. His family once mentioned. He found the man. His hands were rough, his face familiar. Good afternoon, sir. Do you remember my mother asking you to build a house? The man squinted. Your mother? Yes. I remember. She called me. Maybe 4 years ago. Did you start the work? The man laughed. Start what? They brought 2 bags of cement and left. I waited weeks, no call, no money. Then I moved on. Michael's heart sank. So the foundation photos, those, I think they just poured sand for show. Nothing serious happened there. He thanked the man and left. Everything made sense now. The blurry photos, the delays, the excuses. It wasn't that the house collapsed. It was never born. That night, Michael sat on the empty land. His fingers traced lines in the dirt. The shape of a house that never existed. But this time, he didn't cry. He was done mourning. Now, he was planning. He walked to the nearest shop where he could get material. I need 10 blocks, sand, and 1 bag of cement. The shopkeeper looked surprised. Are you starting a project? Yes, Michael replied. From the ground. He paid in cash, then walked to a nearby bar and found 2 idle bricklayers. I'll pay you for 1 day. I want to see the first block laid. No big talks. Just action. That evening, under the fading sun, 3 men walked on a small corner of the land. By nightfall, a single row of blocks stood. Nothing fancy, just raw truth. Villagers passed by, curious. Some laughed, others whispered, but Michael didn't care. For the first time, he was building something real. Not in his head, not in Dubai dreams, but with his own hands. The betrayer had buried him in pain. But from the depths, he was rising again, block by block. The next day, Michael returned to the land with more energy than cash. An old man from the village, Mr. Roberts, watched him from a distance. After a while, he approached. I've been hearing about your story, he said, handing Michael a cup of sachet water. You're a good boy. You didn't curse or fight. That says something. Michael nodded, too tired to speak. The old man continued. I once lost everything to my own brother, but I rebuilt. You will too. He reached into his bag and handed Michael an envelope. This is 20,000. Use it to buy more blocks. Don't give up. Tears welled in Michael's eyes, but he blinked them away. That evening, 2 other villagers joined him on site. We are right here behind you, one said. You will build your house. What his own blood refused to do, strangers were now doing. Maybe the house wasn't cursed. Maybe the foundation just needed to be poured with love. As the days passed, whispers filled the village. Did you hear? Michael is back. They said he's building with his own money again. After all they did to him, that boy has a strong mind. David stayed away. Mama didn't show up either. Shame is a quiet visitor. It rarely knocks. One day, Michael passed the family house. David was at the gate. Their eyes met, but no words were exchanged. Later that evening, a woman approached Michael at the land. Your mother sent me. She says she's sorry. She wants to explain. Michael simply replied, let her come herself. He had no energy for performances. Every day now, the walls were rising. Slowly but surely. A bricklayer offered to work for half pay. A youth volunteered to fetch water. It wasn't much, but it was honest. The house was no longer a dream. It was becoming a symbol of survival, of truth, of starting over, even after family burns you. One afternoon, Mama came, not with smells of food, but with tears. She stood at the edge of the land, watching the walls go up. Then she walked closer. My son, She whispered, "Can we talk?" Michael didn't stop walking. He lifted a block and placed it. She stepped closer. "I failed you. We used the money, but it wasn't greed. It was pressure. Your uncle, David's fees. Things just swallowed us." He dropped his trowel. "But you lied, Mama. Every single month, you looked me in the eye and lied." She cried. "Every single month, you lied to me." She cried. "I didn't know how to face you. I thought I was helping." "Helping who?" He snapped. "Not me." "I don't hate you," he added, "but I can't trust you again." She nodded, wiping her tears. "You've changed, Michael." He looked her in the eyes. "No, Mama, I've grown, and growth doesn't always come with smiles." She walked away slowly, and he turned back to his wall. One brick, one truth at a time. Weeks passed. The house was halfway done. A roof was on the way. One evening, a small group of village elders visited Michael's site. They'd watched him suffer, then rise. "Young man," one elder said, "we want to honor you. You have shown what resilience looks like." They handed him a letter, an invitation to speak at the youth gathering in the town hall. "Young people need to hear your story," they said. "Me? Talk?" "Yes," the elder smiled. "You didn't fight your family. You built instead. That's rare." The event came. He stood before a crowd and spoke. "I thought I was building a house, but I was really building wisdom. Pain taught me who to trust, but it also taught me how to forgive. If you fall, don't stay down. Rise." The hall clapped. That night, Michael walked home. Not to a mansion, but to something greater: respect. And he built it all without lifting his voice, only his hands. The roof went on in the rainy season. Thunder cracked, wind hollowed, but the house stood strong. The villagers gathered to watch. Children played nearby. Some clapped as the final nail was driven into the door. No marble, but every corner held honesty. Every wall held a lesson. Sat on the floor, stared at the ceiling. This was not the dream he once drew, but it was a reality he built himself. He whispered, "Thank you, Lord, even for the pain." Outside, rain began to fall softly, but inside, Michael was warm. It was a monument to failure, to forgiveness, to starting over. One morning, David came alone. No pride in his work, just silence. He stood at the doorway. "I came to say sorry." Michael didn't speak. David continued, "I was foolish. I saw the money as help, not sacrifice. I didn't know you were breaking your back for it." Emeka looked at him. "You didn't even call me on my birthday." David looked down. "I know, I failed you." Silence followed again. "Come in. See the house." Inside, David looked around. His eyes watered. "You really did it?" "No," Michael replied. "Truth did it." David nodded slowly. Can we fix things? Michael smiled faintly. We will see. It wasn't forgiveness, but it was a door half open. Months later, he now has a job in town. Not fancy, but enough. The house stood behind him like a soldier, strong, unshaken. People came to greet him. Some came to apologize. Others came to learn. His story had spread far beyond the village. Even Tony called from Dubai. Guy, you are brave. You turned disgrace into design. Michael laughed. For the first time, the laugh felt full. He looked at the house and the sky. Maybe this is what wealth truly is. He thought, peace. He didn't build the biggest house, but he built something more valuable. A name, a lesson, and a life no lie could shake.